Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video, and recently Capcom has released one of those financial documents that they distribute among investors, and this one is the overview of strategies and plans for the fiscal year ending in March 31st, 2021. And in this document, Capcom has mentioned that one of the strategies for this particular fiscal year is to release multiple major new titles. And naturally, that is something that gets me personally very, very excited. So today, I wanted to do a video to tell you guys which games I would like to see Capcom touch up on. Now, a lot of these are going to be fantasies. Some of these are a little probable that they are going to happen. And one thing that I would like to ask of you guys is when you're done watching this video, go down into the comment section and tell me, out of all of the Capcom franchises, which one would you like to see get released before the end of this fiscal year? And, you know, maybe you'll get your wish, maybe you won't. It's all just a guessing game. I just want to see what people would be really excited about from Capcom's catalog. And, yeah, let's get started. For this particular video, I'm going to go straight from the thing that I want the most to the thing that's like, I kind of want it, but, you know, if I don't get it, it's not going to be the end of the world, right? So, the very first thing is naturally going to be a Monster Hunter game for the Nintendo Switch. And this is actually a good topic for me to expand upon a little bit, because I've heard a lot of people be upset at the suggestion that there should be a Monster Hunter on the Switch. Like, people are like, nah, man, just put it on the current gen consoles. Look at the success of Monster Hunter World. Like, dude, don't take the game away again. And it's like, look, I understand where you guys are coming from. I've been there. Like, trust me, a lot of Monster Hunter fans have been there, because, you know, we've been jumping around through a bunch of different platforms. Like, I didn't even get started on the very first Monster Hunter, because otherwise I would have jumped from, I think it's PlayStation 2, where the first game came out. Then you jump to the PlayStation Portable, and then from there you jump to the 3DS, and then from there you jump to the Wii U, and then from there you jump back to the 3DS. It's been a complete mess, okay? The game just goes through a lot of platforms, but one of the places where Monster Hunter has really made its success has definitely been on handhelds. You guys got to remember that Monster Hunter is a game that is developed by a Japanese developer, and in Japan, the home consoles are not nearly as successful as handhelds. Now, the Switch, I believe, is probably the dominant console in Japan right now. I'm not looking at any hard numbers or anything like that. Just like out of the usual stuff that you hear from Japan and just Japanese culture in general, you'd figure the Switch would probably be one of the most played consoles out there. And most likely, given that that is kind of like their home turf, right now Capcom is actually thinking, man, we should have done one for the Switch as well. We kind of like didn't take a chance on the Switch, because a lot of publishers didn't really take a chance on the Switch because they were expecting the Switch to completely flop, okay? But the exact opposite has happened. The Switch has thrived, so it makes perfect sense to bring a Monster Hunter to the Switch. And also, when people are talking about inclusivity, right? About like, oh, don't take it away to handhelds or whatever. Like, you need to understand something. There's always going to be, at least I believe this is going to be the case. There's always going to be like a new Monster Hunter for home consoles at this point, because the game was that successful. And I think that Capcom is going to keep pushing down that road, and they will release more Monster Hunters in the modern day consoles. At least I think that is what makes sense. But at the same time, because Capcom, I believe, has two teams, which is like the A team that works on usually the numbered titles, or in this case, Monster Hunter World, which for all intents and purposes is Monster Hunter 5. But they called it World to kind of like, you know, bring in a new crowd, and I guess it kind of worked. But ultimately, the other team, which is a team that does like, you know, the crazy stuff like Generations Ultimate, because Generations Ultimate is very different from traditional Monster Hunter. For those of you that are not aware of, you know, with the Hunter arts and the styles and all this stuff, that stuff was all new for Generations. And I think that's the team that has been working on a Monster Hunter for the Switch. Again, there's no official confirmation, but there are a couple of hints that have been dropped here and there that seem to hint that there is going to be a Monster Hunter for the Switch. So I suspect that that is going to be one of the titles. I'm not entirely sure if that is the case or not. It might not even exist for all I know, but I would like to see one, and particularly because it'd be nice for the people that quite simply don't have the time to sit down at home and, you know, play on a home console. Like a lot of people that were playing Monster Hunter back in the day, they were doing so like in their commutes and stuff and lunch breaks and whatnot. And like if you're on your job, you can't just like, hey, I'm gonna take my PS4 with me to my job, and then when I'm in my lunch break, I'm just gonna whoop out a screen. It's like, that doesn't work like that. So there's a lot of people that are fans of Monster Hunter that, you know, didn't really get a chance to play as much on the PS4. Even Gaijin Hunter, who's another content creator, fantastic content creator, I learned a lot from him back in the day when I was playing old school Monster Hunter. Even Gaijin Hunter didn't get to play as much as he would like of Monster Hunter World because quite simply he doesn't have the time to sit down in front of his TV and play Monster Hunter. So there's actually a lot of people right now that are being excluded from the Monster Hunter experience. And I understand you guys are like, oh, but I want a new Monster Hunter and I want it now. And it's like, yeah, I know, me too. But, you know, I don't think it's going to be like that. I think the next one is going to be Switch. But, you know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We don't know. Another one that I would like to see is Monster Hunter Stories, either remastered or, I don't know, maybe a new one. Again, for the Switch, because this is kind of like a Nintendo thing, I think. I think there's like a deal, some kind of exclusivity between Monster Hunter Stories and Nintendo. I'm not 100% sure. But that's another one that I would really like because I did play Monster Hunter Stories on the 3DS a long time ago. Nintendo actually sent me a copy of, like, back in the day. And I played that game and I really enjoyed it, but you know, it's that same thing that usually I can't play my 3DS for too long because screen's too damn small, which is why I like the Switch so much, because it's just like, plop it down, TV, take it with me, same, love it. So I'd like to have a Monster Hunter Stories, basically, because I never played the older one and I would like to do it. So that's another one for me. And then here's one that I think nobody is going to disagree with. And please, Capcom, please. Okay, listen. I'm like doing a summoning incantation for this one, okay? Because this one is kind of like it's a bit of a stretch. Can we please have Dragon's Dogma 2, Capcom, with co-op this time, please? It's like we had Dragon's Dogma, and I love Dragon's Dogma to death. Like there's at least 2 or maybe even 3 full playthroughs of Dragon's Dogma on the channel. And the thing about Dragon's Dogma is that, at least in my opinion, is a tremendously underrated game. Tremendously underrated. I get it. It's a little bit, you know, some parts of the story are a little bit confusing, and some of the systems in place, some people might get a little bit lost. But like, if you just try a little bit, you can. There's such a good game in there. It's insane, tremendously underrated. And then they launched, what was it called? It was Dragon's Dogma Online, but that only launched in Japan, so we never got to play that. That one was actually a Dragon's Dogma that did have co-op, so I never got to play that because, you know, I don't go down and start like, oh yeah, give me the fan translation of the. I don't mess with that stuff. Okay, if it's not in English, I'm sorry, I'm just a baka gaijin, and I just don't know how to speak Japanese. I'd love to, but I ain't got the time to learn. So yeah, a proper Dragon's Dogma 2 with 4-player co-op would just be top notch. I'd love it. Now, another title, this is a title that's been on ice. It was announced when the PlayStation 4 was initially revealed. It was during the reveal of the PlayStation 4. This is a game called Deep Down. I don't think it was ever officially canceled. I've done a report on this game not that long ago. I'm just curious to see what that game was going to be. Now, the initial concept was kind of wonky because they were saying stuff like, oh, we're going to sell levels, and I was just like, whoa, we're going to sell armors. And I was like, hey, whoa, slow your horses, dude. Selling armors? No, none of that. So yeah, I don't know what ended up happening with that. It was supposed to be some kind of a free-to-play game. Maybe they'll have a better business model for it. Maybe that could be a potential title that would come out. I'd be really happy about it, but, you know, I don't know. Now, this next one, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and I don't give a damn. Lost Planet. And I want a new Lost Planet, but, you know, there's been 3 Lost Planet. Is it 4? Because there's like a weird one that's from Lost Planet 1. Maybe it's Lost Planet 1 with some additional stuff. I don't know. But either way, there's Lost Planet 1, Lost Planet 2, and Lost Planet 3. And the one that I want is a Lost Planet based around Lost Planet 2. because Lost Planet 2 is another one of those games that is tremendously underrated because reviewers went in, at least from my understanding, reviewers went into Lost Planet 2 thinking like, oh, this is kind of like the same thing as Lost Planet 1. Lost Planet 2 is intended as a co-op game, and they're just like, shh, co-op, making friends, I don't want this. And dude, I've played Lost Planet 2, even solo, I thought it was a great game. I really enjoyed the story of Lost Planet 2. I thought it was really good. You know, maybe it's not for everyone, but I greatly enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the gameplay of it quite a bit as well. So I'd like to see another Lost Planet, but again, a Lost Planet in the vein of Lost Planet 2, because that was tremendously fun for me, and I'd like to see another game in that. Just saying. I'm curious how many of you guys played Lost Planet 2 and enjoyed it, and how many of you guys played Lost Planet 2 and hated it. You know, and then another title that I would be curious to check out, because I never really played this franchise, and I always hear good things from the initial titles, not the latest ones, because like the latest one was like an iOS game or whatever, and I don't think it was very good. But like the first titles, I always hear good things from this franchise, which is Breath of Fire. That'd be another one that I would like to see. Now, most probably there's another one coming, which is probably going to be in the Resident Evil. I think there's no getting away from Resident Evil. There's tons of Resident Evil coming out. It's not for me, so it's not really one that I personally want or care that much for. But if it comes out, hey man, all the better, because a lot of people have been enjoying the remaster of Resident Evil 2. I don't know what the reaction has been on Resident Evil 3. I haven't really been following it all that much, but so far I think it's probably pretty good because I didn't hear anything bad about it. But yeah, these are the titles that I am interested in from Capcom, particularly that Monster Hunter Switch, dude. Like you guys have no idea how hooked I am on GU right now. It's been fun as hell. But yeah, let me know what you guys would like to see in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you guys did not enjoy this video, hit the dislike button, because feedback is important. Feedback, which you can also leave in the comment section down below. If you usually enjoy my content, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, all of that usual stuff. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe, and may your shields never break.